Hello everybody! Thank you for coming to the first ever Digital Sizzle Hackathon. We hope it's going to be a good weekend. It's not something we've ever done before, if you've been following what we do. Basically we just put on a hackathon, well, an art hackathon, the first time we've ever done one, and it was fantastic.
The concept behind this was quite interesting. We basically had the Whitechapel Gallery approach us and say that they'd seen some of our previous events. They'd seen our last Digital Sizzle, and they said we want to bring the tech community in, and what could we do together to maximise the space. So we had this challenge of sort of we have this enormous space, and we thought, well, we could do a sort of a big Sizzle barbecue party, or we could actually focus on doing something that not only brings the tech community in, but actually maximises the use of the gallery space. And so the hackathon literally came from the idea of what happens when we put, traditional artists together or data savvy artists together with our kind of core community of coders, programmers, developers.
So we've just got here. It's Saturday morning. It is 10 to 10. We've got a few ideas. We've got a few that we want to make. Yep. If you look up there, we've got a little scribble board, I guess is the right word, and we've brought loads of different components and hardware bits. We've got 3 Arduino Unos, 1 Arduino Mega, Raspberry Pi, a Morse code machine, a telephone, 2 printers, a Kinect.
Official, legit 1950s Morse code machine. So we're going to do something with that.
It's called Real Weather. So the general idea is that people can choose weather from somewhere on the planet.
Maybe the sort of pump that goes in like a fish pond or something. Okay. Maybe some sort of perspex tank that we might build. There's going to be lots of fans.
So we're going to have a trough maybe. It's going to pump water up. There's going to be like a hose pipe with holes in. It's going to put water down a perspex sheet. So that will be the rain. So if it's raining, there'll be water flowing down the perspex sheet. And then if it's windy, there's going to be a big fan that's going to be blowing wind across, maybe at a variable speed depending on how strong the wind is. And then if it's a warm wind, like in a warmer place, we'll have a heater below the fan that will blow up hot air into the projected air.
And a personal highlight for me was an artist guy said they never get invited to this type of thing, and he came along and he's just had an absolutely fantastic time. And on top of all of that, the output is just amazing. You don't see many hackathons that say art meets tech. We want you just to do crazy stuff. There's normally parameters, there's restrictions, and all we had was like, you need to fit it in the lift and you need to make it this weekend. Go create.
Death data.
Death data. Can you see the etching on there? So the number on the right hand side represents the number of tweets about death on this day, and the name is somebody that died that day, who has an obituary in the
Published in the Guardian.
And there are 40.
I think it's around 2 months worth of death data, and the length of each piece corresponds to the Twitter activity on that given day. So when we turn this into a necklace, it'll hang like this with a string through here, and obviously it'll be quite a large piece because it's about 47 pieces to it. And this is one of about 6 different pieces of jewellery I've made using various types of data. There's personal data, so I've taken my wife's Twitter feed and turned that into a necklace. So this is Twitter data through the year visualized as a necklace. It's felt, so you can see on the edges it's been singed by the laser cutter.
Oh yeah.
And what I did is I took, I wrote a little Ruby script that scraped her Twitter feed into a Mongo database, and then visualized it using processing, passed it through Illustrator to do the effect around the outside, and then I was sitting next to a laser cutter and was seeing it being produced right next to me.
Looking at everything today and working out how creative coders can be, and how much of art is related to code was really fascinating. And I think I saw some really, really beautiful projects.
Let's see it. Imagine that as video.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Video.
It's going to be video overlaid.
So you're really going to kind of phase the...
We're filming tomorrow morning.
And we're going to fade it out into the canvas.
Oh, I see.
Instead of an image, we'll have video movement.
Genius.
And that's one image resting on the canvas, and then
It's gone
we fade
well.
out.
It's gone well. As I said yesterday, optimistic.
All we need now.
We have kind of constructed a system to track moving fish so that the fish can create sound. We haven't got the fish yet. We are picking them up tomorrow. So at the moment we've just been testing with cartoons and animated fish. The green bits on the screen is actually where it thinks they're a fish, which isn't correct. I've got no idea what the fish are going to do. Like, I don't know how fast they're going to swim. I'm really hoping they're going to swim. I'm really hoping they don't die as soon as we start using them. But I've got no idea. Like, it's proper nature at work.
I think for this we needed to reach a wider audience, and that was our biggest challenge, like to get outside the tech community and bring something new that was fun and different, and people who actually wanted to do that. And in that way I think it's really interesting. For me that was the most interesting part, was that sort of working really hard to kind of get outside just the tech scene and bring in fun, interesting people from a more traditional artistic scene that probably either they didn't have to necessarily be data savvy, but you know, obviously some were, but also people who just wanted to experiment, people who just liked the idea of tech and wanted to do something new.
That's about it, really, I think.
Always take the weather with you everywhere you go. You always take the weather everywhere you go. You always take the weather with you.